Hello everyone and welcome to the RxJS Quick Start playlist. In this video, we'll code our first observable using a constructor and set up an observer to subscribe to it, allowing us to receive the data emitted. So let's get started. Let's begin by going through the code structure. We have a basic index.html file. We're using Tailwind CSS for styling purposes. It's not essential, but it just makes the page look attractive, that's all. We also have a script folder that will store all the JavaScript files. Right now we have one JS file that is again for styling purpose. Okay. Now let's head to the browser and see how the document looks like. Great. It's just a simple web page with a title, logo and some basic styling added to it. Now let's start by importing RxJS into our application. Let's open up a new tab and type RxJS. Click on the first link, then tap on Get Started and then Installation. Scroll to the end. So there are different ways you can import RxJS, but since we are using plain HTML, we just need the CDN URL. Copy this and let's head to the Visual Studio. Inside the head tag, we'll start with importing our RxJS library. So just write the script and for the source, paste the copied URL. That's it. Let's save this file. We'll create another script. Let's call it as RxJS observable.js. We'll just console log RxJS. It is to verify that our library was successfully imported. We'll hit save and again in index.html we'll add the script tag for this file. So script / the file name. Hit save. Let's head to the browser. No longer require it. So I'll just close this tab. And in here, let's open the developer tools. Go to the console tab. You can see there's an object here. This says that RxJS library was successfully imported in our application. And what we are looking for to create an observable is the observable constructor, this one. We'll be using this to create our observable. So let's head to Visual Studio and start writing it. First, we'll need to import the observable constructor from the RxJS library. So let us remove this. Also close it so that it's more clear. Alright. We have to write const RxJS. What we need is observable. Okay. We'll create an observable that emits random numbers. Okay. We'll name it as number. Now it's a common practice to include the $sign. Alright. But it's not mandatory. It's up to you if you like it or not. But it's a standard practice. Okay. Now we'll use new observer. Now this constructor accepts a function called as the subscriber function. This function accepts a parameter called as the observer object. We'll name it as subscriber. Okay. We'll be using this subscriber object to emit values. Okay. In order to emit values, you need to use subscriber.next. And inside this method, pass the value that you want to emit. So let's emit three values, 1, 2 and 3. We'll just rewrite it, next 2 and finally .next 3. Okay. Now that our data producing observable is ready, let's proceed to create an observable. There are a couple of ways to define an observer. Let's use the option where the observer is an object with 3 properties. We'll call it as observer only. Okay. We'll start with the next property, which is a method that is invoked when your observer emits some values. So whenever this number observer emits the values 1, 2 and 3, this particular method will be invoked. will have the value here. For now, let's just add the log statement. Hit save. We have the producer and the consumer. Any guesses what we need now? Is the notify me button. In other words, the subscription mechanism. An observer can subscribe to an observable using the subscribe method. To do so, we have to write the observable dot subscribe and then pass the observer. That's it. Let's hit save and head to the browser. We'll do a refresh here. You can see all the emitted values are logged here. If I go and add another value to be emitted, let's call it as 4, save and go to the browser, you can see the other value is also dumped here. Couple of things to note here. First, the subscriber function that we passed to our observer here, it will only be executed when the subscription mechanism exists. Yeah. For example, what I'll do is here, add a console log statement. Okay. Observable, that's it. Hit save, head to the browser. You can see the log statement, right? Now, what I'll do is, we'll just comment this out. So we have the producer and the consumer, but not the subscription mechanism. Head to the browser. You see, there is no log statement at all. That's why observables are lazy evaluation, which means that unless they have a subscription, there is an observer that is subscribed to that observable, they will not execute this callback. Only when there is an observer subscribed to the observable, that particular callback method will be executed and the values will be emitted. Another thing to notice, an observable can emit values both synchronously and asynchronously. Right now, it's synchronous. To prove that, we'll add log statement before and after the subscribe method. So, let's add here. Let's call it as before and another log statement here. Right. Let me have the browser and the code side by side so it will help us out. Great. You can see here we have first the before getting logged, then because of the subscribe method, this log statement is printed here, then we have the values and then the after log statement, which proves that herein the values are emitted synchronously. Now the observable can also emit values asynchronously. To prove that, we'll wrap this one inside a timeout. I'll paste it and let it emit values, let's say after 3 seconds. Hit save. I'll just do a refresh again. Okay. After 3 seconds, we have this value. So we have before, observe, the first 3 values that gets emitted synchronously. Then we have the after log statement, and after 3 seconds, the last value that gets emitted. Remember, we said that the observer has 3 properties. One is the next one that we already know about. The other 2 are called as error and complete. Let's start with the error. Observable will not always emit value, isn't it? Things may go wrong. Similar to an API may fail. So let's emit an error from our observer. What we'll do is, we'll just remove this and instead write here subscriber.error. For now, we'll just pass a simple string, something went wrong, and hit save. As you can see in the console, we get an uncaught error because we do not have a handler for it inside our observer. To handle it, what you have to do is write error. It is also a method. It accepts the argument that is being passed from here. So we'll just call it as error. For now, simply log it out and hit save. Now you can see that the uncaught error has been removed and you get this string being logged here. Lastly, let's learn about complete. The complete method is called by an observable when the observable has nothing else to emit, no value to emit, and it's completely done, right? So let's comment it out. Instead of error, we'll now call subscriber dot complete. You cannot pass in any value in here, okay? And in here, just you can call it as complete. Since no value is being passed, so no values will be collected. I will just simply have a log here. Let's say done. You can see we have the values first, then we call the complete method. So we get the log done. I think you can use it for any kind of cleanup purpose you want to do, right? So that's about error and complete. One thing to note here is whenever an error or a complete notification is being sent by your observable, anything that you do afterwards will never be executed. So let's try that. What we'll do is we'll emit the value 4 after the complete notification, right? And let's see if this gets logged. Let's save it and see in the console. There's no 4 whatsoever, right? That's because any kind of notification that is being sent after the complete method is being invoked, these all emissions will be ignored. Similar goes for error. I'll just I'll just have it, comment this one and keep it. Hit save. As you can see, we have the error statement, something went wrong, but nothing afterwards. So do remember that. For now, let's just comment this out. Save it. We'll get 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now, there are a couple of ways of declaring the observer. This is one way. Let's learn about the other one. I'll just comment this one, okay, and head to where we have the subscribe method. Here, instead of passing the observer as an object, you can handle those next error and complete notification as callback functions directly. So the first function is called as the next function. You can just have it here, well, and just log the statement. Save it. You can see 1, 2, 3 and 4. The first function is the next. The next function or the second one is the error one. So we'll have error. Okay, and let's just log it. Console.log error. Okay, save it. We are not emitting any kind of error here. So let's bring this back. Save it. So you can see we didn't have any kind of emission here, so nothing was logged. So we'll just save it. And now we have something went wrong being logged. Finally, we have the complete one. That's the third method. It doesn't accept any value, so an empty function, and we'll just log console.log. Done. Let's save. We do not have any emission of complete. Let's comment this and keep it. Now you can see we have the done statement here. So this is the other way of declaring an observer. One is using the object, which was this, and the next is handling it through functions, right? Now any handler, if you don't want, let's say you have your observer is not sending an error, you just have a complete notification, right? And you don't want a handler for it. So instead here you can just pass null. That will work just fine, right? The last thing in this lesson we'll learn about is the unsubscribe method. An observer has the freedom to subscribe whenever they want to, as well as unsubscribe, saying that they no longer needs the emitted values by the observer. Let's see how we can do that. So let's do some cleanup. I'll remove this one. Okay. As well as this. I'm removing the complete also. We have this. Hit save. I'm also for now removing this for just cleaning purpose. That's all. Nothing else. Right. Remove this. That's all. Whenever you invoke the subscribe method, it returns you a subscription object. So let's collect it. We'll just call it as subscription. Const subscription. To unsubscribe, what you have to call is subscription dot unsubscribe. Okay. And what we'll do here is we'll add a timeout which sends this value after 3 seconds. Okay. And we'll invoke this unsubscribe method after 1 second. So what we are trying to achieve here is we call this subscribe method, so the observer will start emitting the values, right? It will synchronously emit 1, 2 and 3. But for the fourth one, it has to wait for 3 seconds and then emit the value. But within this 3 seconds, what we have done is here subscription.unsubscribe will be called after 1 second, right? So if unsubscribe is called, which means that the observer no longer needs the emitted value. And since there are no other observer attached to this observer, this value will never be emitted. Okay. So we should not see the 4 being logged here, right? Let's check it out. We'll hit save. As you can see, we have 1, 2 and 3, right? We do not have the 4 value being shown here. If I comment this out and hit save, then after 3 seconds, we'll see the 4 being logged here. But since within this 3 seconds, I have unsubscribed, I've called this method, will not see the value 4. What I'm going to do here is add a log statement. Let's say timeout executed, right? I have hit saved. Now you can see after 3 seconds, timeout executed is being called. The values is not emitted, but this is being called. Now that's just JavaScript. You are not clearing the timeout, isn't it? So what we need here is the cleanup. Inside the observer, you can do cleanup by invoking return with the function. So in order to clear this timeout, first we need to collect it. Let's call this a timer ID. And we'll copy it and call here clear timeout, passing the timer ID. Let's log a statement here as well. Call it as cleanup. Okay. We'll also add a log statement here saying we call unsubscribe. Okay. So what we are doing here, to reiterate, we are calling subscription.unsubscribe. Okay. Before to that, we have added a log statement. Next, what we have done is we have added a console log statement inside the timeout also, collected the timer ID, and in the cleanup, we are clearing the timer ID. Okay. Let's hit save. So what we expect here is this log statement should not be executed because after 1 second, unsubscribe is called, which will call this cleanup and it will clear the timer. Hit save and see that. We have 1, 2, 3. After we see the unsubscribe, we can see the cleanup and there is no log statement for timeout executed. To reiterate, what we learn in this lesson is how to create observer from scratch. We use the observable constructor for this, right? Which involves a subscription function, and this subscription function has a subscriber object. Using the subscriber object, you can emit values using next, you can emit error calling .error, or you can also say that observer has done all its execution using the complete notification. To create an observer, there are 2 methods. One using an object, the other is being done here. The first is next, followed by error, then complete, right? And finally, You can unsubscribe from an observer using unsubscribe method. And from where do you collect this subscription object? This is when you invoke subscribe method, it returns you an object called as the subscription object. Using the same, you unsubscribe. And when you call unsubscribe, you can do certain cleanups if you want to, such as clearing the timer, what we did here. And that's all in this lesson. I hope you learned about how to create it. Thanks for watching. Happy coding.